JavaScript date objects are special object which is capable to store dates as well as including time in that. It stores a special number in background which is the milliseconds from a specific date timestamp that we'll see with few examples here. Finally, we can understand it is not only capable of date, but it is also capable to hold the time in it. Let's try to understand with few of the examples. First of all, if I want to create a date, I'll say let today equals to new date. So this is how I'm creating a date by using a date constructor. It means it's creating an object and this is a date object now. Let's try to figure out what exactly it consists of when we are consoling it. So specifically, you can see not only the date it is handling, but also it is capable to store the timing as well as under which time zone currently we are. So this time is getting by a local machine, but the JavaScript dates are not machine dependent. They are completely independent of your machine. Currently, my machine supports the IST format. So it is taking the IST format, but we can have the UTC or maybe any other time zone or any other time format as per our requirement. Let's try to understand what are the more ways to get the date created. So this is for the today one. So by default, it is giving you today. And even if you just keep refreshing here, you can just observe these seconds here. So this is hours, this is minutes, this is seconds. So this is 49, 56, 58, 9, and 37 minutes started. So this is how it is giving us the exact current date. Let's try to work around something special now. Now we can start passing some parameters to create the date out of it on our own, because that can be our requirement when we are working on some specific project. So I want to create a date in which the year will be 2023 and the month will be, for example, 10, which is October, and the date will be today, 4th one. Okay, let's try to see and console what happens. So this is 2023 year, and then I have given the month, and then I have given the exact date of the month. And if you see here, it is giving year, month, and the date. And now if I just see the outcome over here, something different I'm getting. There is a difference between the month. We have given an October, but it is giving us November. That's something different. And that is because if you just see, we don't need to pass the month. We need to pass the month index, and in which 0 stands for January and the 11 stands for December. It means we need to handle this month in an index format. So if I want to display January, I should say 0. If I want to display February, I should say 1. And if I want to display December, I should not mention 12, I should mention 11. In the same case, if I want the October instead of 10, I should be mentioning 9 here. So this will be 4th October 2023 as per the syntax given over here. That's perfect. So we are giving the 4th October and 2023. And here the timing, if you observe specifically, it is giving 000. So this is 0 hours, 0 minutes, and the 0 seconds because we are not mentioning the time over here. That's perfect. Let me just comment out this and introduce one more new scenario here. So here I'm not adding the date part now. So here this is an optional part. Only the compulsory is year and the month. It's an optional part from here onwards. So this is an October month and this is year 2023. Let's see what happens. So this is October month, year 2023. The timings are 0. It means midnight 0. And here surprisingly we are able to see we are getting the month start if we are not mentioning anything. So if you're not giving a date parameter, the month of the date, so by default, it will be considering the one of the first month. That's perfect. Let's try to see what are the more options are there. In the upcoming option, we can also specify the hours. Let's say, for example, I want to introduce the morning 9 o'clock. Okay, good. Morning 9 o'clock. Minutes are still 0. Let me introduce the minutes now. So I want to say 30 minutes. That's good. And let me just say the seconds now, 40 seconds. Okay, so this is 40 seconds. All things are very perfect now. But what happens if I by mistakenly given some other different number? What I mean with that, let's say this is 40 seconds, right? I would like to add 70 seconds here, which is not a correct scenario because 30 minutes and 70 seconds is not a good one. Up to 60 seconds only we should add. So let's see if I'm adding 9 hours, 30 minutes, 70 seconds, what happens? So here the magic comes into picture. Very first thing when you're writing the 70, so it is crossing the 60, and as soon as it is crossing the 60 here, it is adding one extra minute to your minutes 30. So it is 30 becomes 31 now, and the remaining 10 seconds are coming up here. So let me try to do some more thing. For example, 121. So it means it should add two more extra minutes and 1 second will remain here, so this will become 32 and this will remain 1 approximately. This is 31. No. So it is just iterating only once. So it is giving us 2 minutes extra here and the remaining 1 second is over here. So with this, we understood if we are giving any other bigger number, it will automatically adjust in a loop. Let's also try to give in a negative format. So I'll say minus 10. So minus 10 seconds for 30. So let's see what happens here. That's perfect. It is going 1 minute below here. So the 30 becoming 29 and it is coming 50 seconds here because of course it's need to reduce the 10 seconds. So that's a good idea here. If we need to play around some month and year and we need to take a difference between the minutes or the seconds or the dates as well. So this will be very useful scenario. So for now, let it be like this. And we'll also try the same thing with, let's make it 61. 9 hours, 61 minutes. So it should be 10 hours here. 10 hours and 1 minute. And the same thing will be applicable for date and the month as well. For the date as well, if I just make it 35 here, so 35 days are not allowed in a month. So of course, it will add a new extra month here and remaining days will remain here. Let's see. Yeah, it's going up to the November and remaining 4 days are getting added here. That's good. Let's keep as it is for now. So let's try to create the dates by using the strings now. So we'll say let's d equals to new date here, 2023. Then we need to mention the month here. Then we need to mention the date. So this is 4th October 2023. Let's see the outcome. So this is 4th October 2023 here. And one special thing we should be observing here we should not mention this 10 as a 9. So when you are specifying using a string, so you should not mention the indexes. When you're using as a parameter only, as a special month index, then only you should add -1 in your months as a month index. But if you're giving it as a string, there is no need to do that. And it should be normally January 1, and for December it should be 12, and that's the reason it's working perfectly here when I'm mentioning 10. One more interesting thing should we figure out here, the dates, it is automatically adding 5 hours 30 minutes. So it's automatically adding this. Previously when the same date we have created using our normal format, so it was giving us midnight 000, but why exactly this 5 hours 30 minutes extra? So this is because when we are creating the dates by using string, by default, it is getting created using UTC format. So here the timing is also 000. So with UTC format, the timing is 0, but the IST is running 5 hours 30 minutes ahead of UST time zone. That's the reason we are getting this 5 hours 30 minutes extra. And it is also showing us the time zone here. And if you create the date by using this format, let me also do that and display, show you the clear difference. So this is D1, let's say, and this is D2. And yeah, both dates are exactly similar. This 9 stands for October here. That we should make a note. Let me make it D1 and D2. So you can figure out a difference here. The difference is 5 hours, 30 minutes. So this is getting created inside IST only. But this date is getting created when we are making use of string. It is getting created in UTC format, sorry. And that's the reason while displaying, it is displaying in IST and showing us 5 years 30 minutes extra. If I want to get the equivalent UTC time of this, so it will be exact of 000. Okay, let me just comment out this part. Okay, so let's see a few more variations here. So can I create a date without mentioning the month or day here? Let's try to see. Yes, of course we can create, and by default this is considered as 1. That's good. The next one. In the next one, we'll try to create a date including a time here. So we'll create a date in which this is 4th October 2023. After that, I'll start mentioning the time. So the format is I need to mention a capital T here. Then I'll say the timing. So the timing is, for example, morning 9 o'clock, 09 colon 30. And then I'll mention the seconds. Let's say, for example, 10 seconds. And I'm mentioning Z at the end. So what exactly this Z is indicating? So the Z is indicating this is a UTC format. Let's see what happens. So we are displaying here the date is 4th October 2023 and the timing is 9:30 10, and this is a UTC time zone. So morning 9:30. But it is showing us here the 15, it means the afternoon 3 o'clock because we are displaying in IST format. So if you want to create the date in IST only, we need to remove this Z here. So this is morning 9:30 in IST format now. And previously, when we have mentioned Z, so this is a UTC. So in this, automatically 5 hours 30 minutes will be added. So that will be around afternoon 3 o'clock in IST. So this is how it works. One more interesting scenario with dates, how back in background it is being stored. So there is a special concept in date. So let's try to understand that. Let me just comment out this. So I'm saying that date dot now. So what exactly this now does, it returns the number of milliseconds since the midnight of January 1st, 1970. That is a universal coordinated time. And let's see here. So these are those milliseconds. So if I keep refreshing it, I can see it is keep increasing it. It means that from the 1st January midnight 1970, from this date onwards, how many milliseconds are done to till now, till this date and second, so that we can get by using this now. And this is what the magic behind the date. So what are the dates we store? That dates in background are stored with milliseconds. So if we want to prove that, what we can do, we'll just say temp data here. Temp data. Okay, that's perfect. And now using this temp data, we'll try to build a new date object. New date, and here the parameter I can give the temp data. So what is this temp data? It is just a number that is a millisecond. So using that millisecond, let's see how we can build the date also now. So that's perfect. Firstly, these are the milliseconds till now from 1st January 1970. And from the same milliseconds, I generated the date. So I can see the current date time I'm getting. That's a 4th October morning 9:51 and 03 seconds. So this is how it works. 1st January 1970 onwards, we can go, but we can also go backward. So if I just go the backward here, it means if I add the minus symbol here. So it means, so the same duration will go in a backward. It means it will go around, this is 1970, right? So these are 30 years and then 20, 50, around 53 years. So from 1970, it will go back around 53 years. It means around 1916 or 17, it will come up. Let's see. Yes, 1916 March 31. Of course, we are not accurate with the date and the month, exact calculation, but around 1916 it's coming up. So this is the center point from where we need to go backward or the forward. But the JavaScript consider this date, 1st January 1970, as a midpoint for all the calculation, and including all the date difference and everything happens based upon these milliseconds. So this is how the JavaScript treat the date object, in which we have seen how many different types are there to create an object by using different parameters here, by giving only years, by giving month, and there is a special syntax for month. It is a month index. We can also do for the strings. We can also do by using string and time here. And we have also seen something special called as milliseconds in this lecture. Let's talk about the JavaScript date objects, some unique and special methods which are used to get specific information out of your date object. That could be the hours from your date, or maybe the date, or the month, or the year, and many more information. Let's try with some examples. So here we are having a date, which is today's date. Let's console it. Okay, we are getting the today date here. That's perfect. Now, out of this date, if I want to start getting some information, let's say, for example, I want to get the year information out of this. So I'll say today dot get year. So there is one method called get full year. So what's the difference between, like, why exactly it is saying get full year? Because it gives in a 4-digit one. Generally, there can be also a 2-digit year in which only the last 2 digits of our year will get it. So we want the full 4 digits. Let's see. Yes, we are getting the 2023. Getting this information will be very helpful when we are designing any specific application which is much more related to date, or maybe the time or year, and many more. So these functions will help us a lot. So in the same fashion, I can also create many other things. For example, the month. Let me just say get month here. And if you see the month, it will be something special here because it will give us the month index, where 9 is representing the October, because the 0 indicates January and the 11 indicates December using the month index over here. Okay, let's see the date. So how to get the day of the month using get date here. Let's see. So this is the 4th date of the month. Let me just replace the label here. So this is a day which has been called here date. Let's also try to get the hours. Okay. So the hours are morning 9 a.m. So we are able to see that. Let's also go with the minutes one here. Okay. Minutes. Okay. That's perfect. It is 59 minutes. Let's go with the seconds. The seconds are 0 because just now I think it's 10 o'clock. So let me just refresh it again. We'll get the second something different. Yes, it's 6 seconds. Similar way, we can also get the milliseconds. And one special is, like, we can get the number of milliseconds from the 1st January 1970, which is central timestamp in JavaScript for all the calculation. So that will be today dot get time. So this is the number of milliseconds from the 1st January 1970 that is being used for all the JavaScript date related calculations in background. So these are the year, month, and everything we are getting in the current locally time zone. If we want the same things in some different time zone, we can do that. And if we want to get that using a UTC time zone, we can also do that. So there are some special methods are available which will help us to get these information in UTC. Let's try to do with the hours part first. So here I'll say UTC time zone, and here I'll say get hours UTC hours. Let's see. So currently it's 10 o'clock in the IST format. So of course the IST format will be 5 hours 30 minutes ahead of the UTC. So we should get less than 5 hours 30 minutes for this morning 10 o'clock. So we should get approx 4:30 in the morning. And that's the reason you are able to see here the UTC hours are 4 hours here. Let's also calculate the minutes. Get UTC minutes. So this is 4 hours 32 minutes in the UTC, and in the IST it is morning 10 hours 2 minutes. So this is how the get methods will also help to get the UTC time zone related information. We can also get the year, we can also get the month, day, and many other things in UTC format. Currently, just for representation, I'm using the hours and minutes because we can see the difference with hours and minutes maximum time. So this is how JavaScript works on array object using different get methods. Let's see how the set methods will work on the JavaScript date object. So consider here we are having a today date that we are consoling here. That's perfect. So we can change a certain part of our date. It could be the month, maybe the date, or maybe the year, or everything we can change out of this particular date part by part. So let's try to do it from year start. So I'll say today dot set year. So set full year, and here I can specify the year that I want to change. So this is the year I want to change. So currently this is 2023. I'm making it 2024. Let's console it today. So previously it was 2023. Now it became 2024 here. That's perfect. So only the date part we have changed. Sorry, the year part. And let me just also change the month now. So while changing the month, we need to take care about the indexes. So currently the month is October, it means the 9. So we can give 10 here to make it November. So this is how we are changing the month as well. The same way you can change the date, this you can change the hours, minutes, and many more. Let's try to change the hours. So currently the time is 10 o'clock. Let me make it 11 hours. Yes, 11. So this is the way you can completely change certain part of your date object by using these set methods. Using the set methods, you can change the milliseconds also, you can change the minutes, you can change the seconds, and you can also set a complete new date by using a set time method. So this is how the JavaScript help us to change the each and every portion of our date object by using set methods.